Orochimaru. Orochimaru is one of the most feared figures in Naruto, known for his obsession with immortality and forbidden knowledge. Once a respected ninja of the Hidden Leaf Village, he was considered one of the most talented students of the legendary Third Hokage. Many believed he would eventually become Hokage himself. However, Orochimaru's curiosity about life, death, and the limits of human power slowly pushed him into darker territory. He began studying forbidden techniques and performing secret experiments on other humans in order to understand how the body works and how it could be improved. When these experiments were discovered, he abandoned the village and became a rogue ninja. Orochimaru believes that human life is far too short to learn everything the world has to offer, and that limitation drives his desire to live forever. To achieve immortality, he developed a technique that allows him to transfer his consciousness into new bodies, effectively stealing the lives of others to extend his own existence. Over time, he also built hidden laboratories and manipulated many people into serving him, often promising them power in exchange for loyalty. His snake-like appearance, slow speech, and eerie calmness make him one of the most unsettling characters in the series. Orochimaru represents the danger of knowledge pursued without limits or morality, showing how curiosity can turn into obsession when it is no longer guided by empathy. Father stands at the center of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood as the mastermind behind many of the events in the story. His origins trace back to an ancient experiment performed in the kingdom of Xerxes. During this experiment, a mysterious being was created from alchemical energy, and this entity eventually became known as Father. Unlike ordinary humans, Father possessed immense knowledge and intelligence from the very beginning. Over time, he manipulated a slave named Hohenheim and used his knowledge to gain freedom in physical form. After escaping Xerxes, Father began planning an enormous scheme that would take centuries to complete. He secretly shaped the nation of Amestris, guiding its history, wars, and borders, so that the entire country would eventually serve as a giant alchemical circle. His goal was to perform a ritual that would allow him to absorb the power of a godlike being and transcend the limits of existence itself. Father sees human emotions such as love, compassion, and regret as weaknesses. In an attempt to remove those weaknesses from himself, he creates 7 homunculi, each representing one of the deadly sins that he has separated from his own personality. These beings act as his agents and carry out his plans across the country. Despite his immense intelligence and power, Father ultimately lacks the one quality that makes humans resilient, the ability to care for others. His story highlights how dangerous the pursuit of perfection can become when it abandons humanity entirely. Yoshikage Kira appears in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Diamond is unbreakable and is one of the most unsettling villains because of how ordinary he tries to appear. Unlike many antagonists who seek world domination or public recognition, Kira simply wants to live a quiet and peaceful life. He works a normal job, maintains a tidy routine, and avoids drawing attention to himself. However, hidden beneath this calm lifestyle is a serial killer with a deeply disturbing obsession. Kira has an unnatural fascination with hands, which leads him to murder women and keep their hands as trophies. What allows him to continue his crimes for so long is his supernatural ability known as Killer Queen. This power lets him turn almost any object into a bomb, instantly destroying anyone who touches it. Because of this ability, Kira can eliminate witnesses without leaving evidence behind. He carefully studies his surroundings and quickly adapts whenever someone begins to suspect him. At one point in the story, he even steals another man's identity in order to continue living unnoticed. Kira's calm personality and polite demeanor create a chilling contrast with the violent acts he commits. He shows that evil does not always appear as chaos or destruction. Sometimes it hides behind the mask of an ordinary person living a normal life. Akainu, whose real name is Sakazuki, is one of the most powerful and controversial figures in the world of One Piece. As a high-ranking admiral in the Marines, he represents a strict interpretation of justice, known as absolute justice. According to this philosophy, any act of crime must be destroyed completely, even if innocent lives are caught in the process. Akainu believes that mercy only allows evil to spread, and that harsh punishment is necessary to maintain order in the world. His personality is intense and uncompromising, often clashing with other characters who believe in more balanced forms of justice. Akainu possesses the power of the magma fruit, which allows him to transform his body into molten magma and unleash devastating volcanic attacks. His abilities make him one of the most destructive fighters in the series. One of his most infamous moments occurs during the Marineford War, where he relentlessly pursues pirates and even sacrifices fellow soldiers if he believes it will secure victory. What makes Akainu especially complex is that he truly believes he is protecting the world. From his perspective, eliminating pirates and criminals at any cost is the only way to ensure peace. His character raises difficult questions about how far authority should go in the name of justice. Betelgeuse Romane Conti. Betelgeuse Romane Conti is one of the most disturbing antagonists in ReZero and serves as a high-ranking member of the witch cult. He's devoted completely to the Witch of Envy and believes his actions are a form of worship. Unlike many villains who maintain calm control, Betelgeuse behaves in an extremely erratic and emotional way. His speech constantly shifts between exaggerated excitement, deep sorrow, and manic laughter. This unstable behavior makes him difficult to predict and even more terrifying to face. Betelgeuse possesses a mysterious power that allows him to control invisible hands, capable of crushing objects or tearing apart his enemies from a distance. Because these hands cannot normally be seen, they make his attacks extremely dangerous. What truly defines Betelgeuse is his obsession with proving his love and loyalty to the witch. He believes that pain, sacrifice, and destruction are necessary demonstrations of devotion. This twisted interpretation of faith leads him to commit brutal acts without hesitation. His character explores how blind devotion can transform belief into something frightening and destructive. Kyubey. Kyubey appears in Puella Magi Madoka Magica, and at first seems like a harmless creature that offers magical powers to young girls. With a calm voice and friendly appearance, Kyubey approaches girls who are struggling with their lives and offers them a contract. In exchange for having any wish granted, they must become magical girls who fight dangerous monsters. At first, the offer appears generous, even hopeful. However, as the story progresses, it becomes clear that Kyubey is hiding the full truth behind these contracts. The magical girls eventually transform into the very monsters they are meant to fight, creating a cycle of despair and energy. Kyubey's species harvests this energy as a resource needed to prevent the universe from running out of power. What makes Kyubey especially unsettling is the way he speaks about these events. He does not show cruelty, anger, or joy. Instead, he explains everything with calm logic, as if human suffering is simply a necessary part of maintaining cosmic balance. Kyubey represents a form of evil that is not driven by hatred, but by pure calculation. His presence in the story challenges the idea that villains must always be emotional or violent, showing that cold logic can sometimes be just as terrifying. Esdeath is one of the most feared generals in the world of Akame ga Kill, serving the Empire with absolute loyalty and overwhelming strength. From the moment she appears in the story, it is clear that she is not simply a soldier following orders. Esdeath genuinely believes in a harsh philosophy shaped by her childhood. She grew up in a brutal environment where survival depended entirely on strength, and this experience formed the belief that the strong deserve to rule, while the weak are destined to perish. Because of this worldview, she sees war and suffering not as tragedies, but as natural outcomes of life itself. Esdeath commands one of the Empire's most powerful military units, and quickly becomes known for her terrifying combat ability. Her Imperial weapon allows her to control ice with extraordinary precision, enabling her to freeze entire battlefields, create massive weapons, or trap enemies instantly. In battle, she moves with confidence and composure, rarely showing fear even when facing powerful opponents. What makes Esdeath especially complex is that she is not driven by cruelty alone. She respects strength in others and often shows admiration toward opponents who can challenge her. At times, she even demonstrates genuine emotional vulnerability, particularly when she develops feelings for someone she believes to be strong enough to stand beside her. These moments reveal that beneath her ruthless philosophy is someone capable of attachment and loyalty. However, her belief that only the strong deserve to survive always takes priority, guiding every decision she makes as a general of the Empire. Sosuke Aizen. Sosuke Aizen is one of the most intelligent and calculating antagonists in Bleach, a character whose influence shapes the story long before his true intentions are revealed. At the beginning, Aizen appears to be a calm and respected captain within the Soul Society, an organization responsible for maintaining balance between the worlds of the living and the dead. He presents himself as polite, thoughtful, and deeply devoted to his duties. Many of the other captains trust him completely, believing him to be one of the most reasonable leaders in the organization. However, this image is carefully constructed. Over time, it becomes clear that Aizen has secretly been manipulating events for years. His ultimate goal is to transcend the natural limits of both humans and Soul Reapers and gain control over a higher form of power. Aizen believes that the existing order of the world is flawed and that someone with superior intelligence and strength should reshape it. One of his greatest advantages is his ability known as Kyokusuigetsu, a power that allows him to control all 5 senses of anyone who has seen its release. Once someone falls under this illusion, they cannot distinguish reality from deception. This ability makes Aizen nearly impossible to challenge because his enemies can never be certain whether what they are seeing is real. Combined with his strategic mind and calm demeanor, Aizen consistently remains several steps ahead of those who oppose him. Even when his plans are revealed, he rarely shows anger or desperation. Instead, he observes the reactions of others with quiet confidence, as if everything unfolding around him was already predicted long before it happened.